Imagine a species that built giant cities, created machines capable of traveling through space, and completely transformed the planet where it lives. A species capable of creating technology, developing artificial intelligence, exploring the depths of the oceans, and even observing galaxies millions of light years away. Now, imagine that this same species spends approximately one-third of its life doing one single thing: sleeping. Every day, billions of human beings close their eyes, leave the world behind, and enter a state where they temporarily lose consciousness. During this time, we are not working, we are not searching for food, we are not building anything, we are not protecting our territory, we are completely still. And from the outside, this seems like a huge flaw in evolution, because for millions of years, survival meant staying alert, it meant noticing threats, finding food, protecting the group. So why did nature create living beings that need to spend so many hours completely disconnected from the world? Why did evolution preserve a behavior that leaves us vulnerable every single day? The answer is one of the greatest surprises in biology, because sleeping is not wasting time. In fact, sleeping may be one of the reasons we became human. For a long time, sleep was seen as simply a period of rest, as if the body were a machine that needed to be turned off to recover energy. But this idea was incomplete, because when we close our eyes and fall asleep, our brain does not disappear. It keeps working. At certain moments, some areas of the brain become extremely active. While the body is still, the brain is organizing, cleaning, and rebuilding information. But to understand why this happens, we need to go back long before humanity existed. Sleep did not begin with humans. It is much older than us. Long before cities, tools, or language existed, other animals were already sleeping. Lions sleep, birds sleep, dolphins sleep. Even small insects have periods when they reduce their activity and enter states similar to sleep. This means that, at some point during evolution, sleeping stopped being a problem and became such an important advantage that it was preserved for millions of years. But there is something strange about it. In nature, being unconscious is dangerous. An awake animal can escape. It can find food. It can notice a predator approaching. But a sleeping animal cannot do any of those things. So, why did sleep win this evolutionary battle? Because its benefits were much greater than its risks. One of the most important functions of sleep happens inside our brain. During the day, we receive thousands of pieces of information. We see images, we hear sounds, we learn new things, we talk to people, we experience emotions, we make decisions. All of this creates a huge amount of information that needs to be organized. Imagine the brain as a gigantic library. During the day, thousands of books are placed on a table without any organization. If nobody arranges them, everything quickly becomes chaos. During sleep, the brain performs this organization. It decides which information is important, which memories should become stronger, which experiences can be removed. It is as if every night the brain performs internal maintenance. It reorganizes everything we experience to prepare us for the next day. But sleep does something even more impressive. It allows the human brain to continue functioning. The brain is one of the most complex structures known in nature. It allows us to create art, science, technology, language, culture. But all of this ability comes with a cost. The brain consumes a huge amount of energy. Even though it represents only a small percentage of our body weight, it uses a large portion of the resources we obtain from food. Thinking requires energy. Learning requires energy. Creating requires energy. And as the brain became more complex, the need for recovery periods increased. Sleep may have been one of the tools that allowed humans to develop such advanced intelligence. It helped the brain maintain the balance needed to continue evolving. But there is one part of sleep that still fascinates scientists: dreams. Every night, while our body remains still, the brain creates complete experiences. We can visit places that never existed, talk to people we have not seen for years, live impossible situations, feel fear, happiness, or sadness inside stories created by our own minds. But why do we dream? Why does the brain create entire worlds while we are unconscious? Science still does not have a definitive answer, but there are some fascinating theories. One suggests that dreams help process emotions. They may work as a way to organize difficult experiences and feelings accumulated throughout life. Another theory suggests that dreams act as a simulation. For thousands of years, our ancestors had to deal with constant dangers. A brain capable of imagining threats could prepare an individual better for real situations. In a way, dreaming could be a form of training created by our own minds. But if sleeping is so important, there is an even more concerning question. What happens when we do not get enough sleep? The answer shows how dependent we are on it. When someone sleeps too little, the brain begins losing efficiency. Memory becomes weaker, concentration decreases, decision-making becomes worse, emotions become harder to control. The body also suffers. The immune system weakens. Physical recovery decreases. The ability to maintain internal balance is affected. This reveals something important. Sleeping is not a comfort choice. It is a biological necessity. There is a great irony in human history. For thousands of years, we have tried to gain more time. We created tools to work better, machines to speed up tasks, technologies to save minutes. But there is something no technology has ever eliminated: the need to sleep. Nature still forces us to stop. And perhaps that happens because stopping is exactly what allows us to continue. Sleep did not steal 1/3 of our lives. It helped build the life we have. While it seems like we are doing nothing, the brain is working. While the body rests, millions of processes are happening. While our eyes are closed, our story continues to be written. For a long time, we thought sleeping was simply a pause, a moment when nothing happened. But the truth is completely different. Sleeping is one of the most important activities we perform, because through it, our brains developed, our memories remained, and our species was able to reach this point. And perhaps this is one of the greatest lessons of evolution. Not everything that seems like a weakness truly is. Sometimes what makes us stronger is exactly what we are forced to do when we stop. So, here is the question. If something as ordinary as sleeping hides such an incredible story, how many other things do we do every day without ever asking the real reason behind them? After all, why?